all hell broke loose at the intersection of Florence and Normandy. And I said, I got to get back to work because it was getting out of control. So I went back to work and started maintaining a relationship with the media. This is what we were experiencing because as the fires started breaking out, the media was coming across like, here's another fire where there are no firemen assigned. Well, that's because we were spread thin throughout the city, and more fires were breaking out than we had personnel to get to them. So that was my first introduction to the riots, and that was from a Wednesday night, all Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. I finally was able to come home on a Saturday because the riots were, I think everybody in the city were just exhausted. Rioters, and it was the most unbelievable turmoil I've ever seen in my life.
Was that riot you told me a story before we began recording about the fireman getting shot.
Right.
Is that happened during the riots?
Yes, yes.
Okay, can you talk about that story?
Well, one of the issues that we had, which I felt that the media needed to know about, is the sacrifices our members were undergoing. They were being. Can you imagine being on going to a structure as big as Costco, and you're just 4 firefighters, and this thing is fire through the roof.
Yeah.
You know, and there are people looting like crazy, coming out of the stores with all kinds of stolen material, and you still have to look out for their welfare. We had gang members that commandeered fire trucks with under weapons, you know, putting shotguns to the firemen's heads and said, "Leave the fire trucks and get out of here," and have to dealing with that. So, you know, those were some really dangerous times for our guys, and I would go interview after interview to remind the people what our firemen were willing to do and what they were doing to save lives and property, even though when they were not welcomed into some of those communities by thieves and hoodlums and murderers, you know, and they were still willing to be there for the people that needed them the most.
Yeah.
So it was, you know, and then that Friday night, especially as a fire commander, you know, I was doing all the media and the television, but I wanted to be in on the action. So when they started rehousing our firefighters back into the communities, because they were working out of a command post and being dispatched, because you know, our fire stations were being looted and it was wicked situation. So they divided up. They were rehousing the fire stations, and so I went to work in. I took a particular battalion. There were 6 or 8. Fire stations in a battalion. They divided this particular area into 3 battalions, specifically in South LA. And I was in Florence and Normandy neighborhood and you know, South Central Watts neighborhoods on that Friday night as a battalion chief. I was just a captain, but I held the rank of a commander of a battalion chief, because, and I had 3 fire stations that I was responsible for. And we fought fire all that Friday night. But that just added to my experience. And then when I could go back to the media and say, I was there, I was on these fires, I was with these incidents, so it just gave me more credibility.
Yeah.
Not only for myself and my own personal self-worth, like, you know, I just can't be talking about this, I want to be in it.
Right.
You know? So I had that experience, which was a great experience for me, and then I came home to my family on Saturday and slept till Sunday, you know, for 2 days.